Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar with Maastricht School of Management. My name is Nelly, and I'll help with the moderation of this event on behalf of the UniMi team. And I'm here with our speakers today, MSM representatives who are going to share more about the school and the MBA program, and also MSM alumni who will share their experience studying in the Netherlands. Before giving the word to them, I want to tell everyone who is listening, you can ask questions anytime during the webinar, just using the Q&A box. All questions are welcome, so don't hesitate. Everything is set, everything works fine. So Hermina, I'm giving the word to you to start your presentation.
Thank you very much, Nelly. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Before I start sharing my screen, or while I do that, and while we wait for more people to log in, I just want to see if you all know, if you can hear me. So if you can put in the chat where you are from today, where you are logging in from. That's always nice. Then I can see A, that you know how to chat, and then B, that you can actually hear me. That would be great. Right. And while we do that, I will share the screen, and then we can start with the, so I see someone has, oh, Uzbekistan. Nice. Okay. Where else? Where is everyone logging in from today? Algeria, really cool. Always love seeing how diverse the audience is. So from Algeria, okay. Right. Well, everyone is typing. Hopefully, we'll have lots of answers. Morocco, perfect. I will start the presentation already, but it would be really nice to see where everyone is from, because it's just always great to see how diverse the audience is. So Indonesia, hello. Right. So today we're going to talk about your comfort zone and why it's important to challenge yourself by stepping out of it, and by stepping out of it into the MSM Full-time MBA. And to be able to do that, I will be working with my colleague Inka, who is our recruitment officer for the Full-time MBA. And she'll be answering all the questions that you have. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A, like Nelly mentioned in the beginning. So next to the chat box, chat area, there's a Q&A button. And in the Q&A, you can answer your questions. And at the end, we will take a time to answer some of the main ones again. But throughout the session, throughout this webinar, Inka will also be answering your questions immediately as well. Then, more importantly today, we have our guests today, and I'll actually ask them to introduce themselves, because all three of them are alumni from our MBA. And I'm just going to ask all three of you to briefly introduce yourself, who you are, how long ago you studied, and what are you currently doing? And maybe also just briefly about why you chose MSM. So let's start with Serpil.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Hermina. So I had my MBA for 1 year in 2021. And currently I'm working at Crocs as the Global Trade Compliance Manager. I'm from Turkey. I have a daughter. And yeah, the reason that I chose MSM MBA at that time was that, you guys remember the lockdown and the COVID, and MSM was offering a very flexible MBA program. It was really nice for me because I was a mother and I didn't know how the lockdown would go. I was hoping for the best, of course. And it turned out really good. And the reason that the network that MSM has in the Netherlands, which was my top 3 countries to live, that was another reason. So nice to meet you all, and looking forward to your questions.
Thank you, Serpil. Zainab, what about you?
Hello, I'm Zainab Salimi, originally from Iran, but I was born and raised in Kuwait. I had a bachelor in education, which is so away from business, but I liked business because my father was businessman. So when I get in education, I try to think how to make a business of education. So I opened a small business of teaching and education services. Then I decided why not to get something a certificate in business. So I searched in Netherlands because I like Netherlands and I have a family here. So Maastricht was a good option, to be honest, and I like the scholarship they gave us. It was a good point. And so I decided to come, and I really liked it. It opened my eyes a lot, and hopefully I can make any useful here. Thank you.
Zainab. Finally, Jeb.
Yes, it's very nice to meet you all here again, Hermina, and all the potential students who also have planned to come to the Netherlands. If you're planning to do so, let's do that. Because when it is very special, a special case when I decided to study in the Netherlands, because I think that it is also something connected to my first job after my bachelor graduation. I worked for a Dutch company, and I saw that I liked the Netherlands a lot, and I built my dream of coming to study abroad to pursue my master somewhere in the world. But to my understanding, European university offer not many scholarships. But I think that when we want something, and the whole universe will help you. And I got the Orange Tulip scholarship, 80% in 2022. And I decided to come to the Netherlands, and I feel very happy, and and I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
Great, thank you very much for that. Let us move through to just what to expect today. So firstly, I will be giving some general information. I'll try and quickly go through that as quickly as possible, because we have done other webinars on that, and they can find the information on our website. But then we'll go more importantly on to why it is so important to step out of your comfort zone, and then more specifically how you can do that by doing an MBA, how the MBA will actually help you grow. We'll cover the practical information, like the tuition fee, the scholarships, the application process, before going through to all the question and answers that you might still have, or that you would have asked during the webinar. So once again, don't hesitate throughout the webinar to ask questions. Inka is there to be able to help you. Right. So the first question, which I've already asked briefly to the three ladies that are joining us today, the why MSM, is, what makes us special? Why should you consider MSM for your studies? Well, the first thing is we are part of the University of Maastricht. The university, or the Maastricht University, is a very well-known university. It's one of the best young universities worldwide. It's got the Triple Crown accreditation, so your degree is recognized all over the world. And you get to be part of the campus of a university, while at the same time having the personalized approach of a business school. So you get the best of both worlds. Also, the campus itself is absolutely stunning, and I'm sure Zainab and Jeb can confirm that, because they were talking to me just now about the memories of that all. But we'll get to that just now. Before that, though, more about MSM specifically. We are one of the oldest business schools in the Netherlands. We were the first business school to launch an MBA in the Netherlands. And we only focus on that. We focus on management and business administration. That's all we do. We don't have bachelor degrees or master degrees in 1,000 other topics. This is what we specialize in. And so we have that international recognized degrees. We've got students coming from all over the world. And Maastricht itself is in a very specific, unique situation where it's on the border with Belgium, Germany, and then obviously the Netherlands. So it's about an hour away from Belgium or Brussels, about an hour and a half from Cologne, Antwerp, and then about 2 hours from Amsterdam. So you're in a very unique situation where everything is quite close by. Also, MSM itself, we're very focused on sustainability. We've had a very, very huge global network, and the way we teach, we'll talk about later on today, but it's very specific on being hands-on and learning by doing. And then more specifically about the full-time MBA, because that is what we are talking about today, is our MBA is recognized as a Tier 1 business school. It's ranked as one of the top 10 in Western Europe, and we were very proud to receive the number 3 ranking worldwide for the Corporate Nights, which is a ranking on sustainability. So that was a very nice extra ranking well, something that we're very proud of. Now, this is where I'm going to rather ask our alumni to talk to you about what it's actually like to study and live in the Netherlands in Maastricht, because the way I see it, Maastricht is a beautiful, special city. It's a student city. It's small enough to feel at home, big enough never to get bored. But maybe, Deb, can you tell, because you said you're now in Vietnam and you're missing Maastricht, you know, what stood out for you about Maastricht? What can you tell everyone about Maastricht, MSM, or the Netherlands?
Yeah, sure. So I think that when I'm talking to you, when I'm hearing what you're talking, and I'm really missing the Netherlands at this moment, because I've already left the Netherlands, came back to my home country in Vietnam and got a job here. I think that it just in Maastricht, it is very special for me, because I still remember the first time I came to Maastricht, and I talked to all my classmates and Leslie in admissions as well, that, oh, I miss my home a lot, and I'm struggling here. I don't know if I can live here, and maybe I don't want to take the scholarship anymore. I would like to come back home. And it just happened for the first few weeks when I have friends here. They asked me to go out, going to the city center, having ice cream cone, and doing different things. And I moved my house to close to MUMC Plus. And I have a lot of friends there, and I started enjoying the life in Maastricht. And at first, I see that Maastricht was a little bit not really exciting, not really kind of nightlife like Amsterdam. And after almost 1 year living there, and I want to live here. If possible, if I stay here in the Netherlands, I will stay in Maastricht and get a job in Maastricht, not moving to Amsterdam, because I already get used to it and I love the peaceful environment there. And it is very special for me because I also apply for the part-time job at Tasbozok, kind of delivering food with bicycles. And at that moment, I started loving the city, because I had chance to going around. You know, when I got any orders, I could go to Belgium border to deliver my order. And I went all around the city. And I think that it was an amazing chance for me to explore the city, because normally with the normal bike, not electrical bike, I cannot go all around the city. But with that job, I had chance to explore the city a lot, and I love Maastricht. And now I'm missing the Maastricht part.
Well, you're always welcome to come back.
Thank you.
Sepil, a pleasure. Sepil, you're in Amsterdam. Well, you said you're just 20 minutes away from it. You know, what's when you compare the two, because obviously Amsterdam, everyone knows Amsterdam. You know, how is
where
it?
magic happens. Yeah, you know, Maastricht was like a refined version of Amsterdam. It was really calm, and it was what you need at that moment of your life, because getting an MBA degree is a hassle. Like, you must have been going through a lot to decide to, the cost is high and you will be out of the job market for 1 year at least. So it's a huge decision, and Maastricht satisfies that your needs at that time. So I couldn't have time to be there, to stay there, because of the the restrictions and everything. I was living in Turkey, but I spent a small time, but that was enough to tell me how gorgeous the city is, how nice, kind the people are. And guys, I can tell you that now I'm living north of Netherlands, I can tell you that people there, like Maastricht, were nicer. Sorry for that, but yes, and they were more welcoming.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
here are also kind, but Maastricht, it's something different. Like they're welcoming, you are a part of the community. Even you are an international, you never feel like you are out of home. In Amsterdam also, I felt that. So it was so vibrant. At the end of your MBA, most of the job market is in Amsterdam and Rotterdam. So most probably it will be there. But any city in the Netherlands, I will urge you to relocate.
And Zainab, you're also still up north in you said you moved there with your husband.
Yeah, in Den Haag.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Oh, sorry. I heard Zainab. I'm
No,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
Perfect. No, I was asking Zainab, you're in Den Haag.
Okay, so you were asking me. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm living in The Hague now, or Den Haag, as they say in Dutch. So for me, Maastricht was the simple or the simple of old Europe. I've been to Italy, I've been to Germany, I've been to Belgium, I've been to a couple of countries in Europe, but Maastricht is something really special about Europe. Like you feel it's a village, but it's not a village, it's a city.
Mhm.
But it has the old the old Europe streets, the houses. When for me, I came from Middle East, which is far away. When I come and I have this imagination about Europe and the houses. When I come to, I go, oh my God, that's real. That's real. This is the houses that I wanted to come and see. But in Den Haag or Amsterdam, it's totally different. We can see them, but not as much as Maastricht. It's everywhere. So this is the first point. Second point, the students are everywhere. That makes you feel like comfortable, that you're not like new here. No, you have friends. You can make friends so easily because everyone is from everywhere from the world. You can make connections. That's a good point in Maastricht. Also walking the river, look at the picture, the sunset. That was my best view in Netherlands, and I have plenty of pictures and videos in this river. Cycling or only walking, you feel you are in resort, just you want to relax. Also being in Kuwait, which is really crowded city with a lot of cars, which makes carbon dioxide, blah. But here I feel like it's a fresh air. You want to breathe and you want to enjoy it. So yeah, so I really like it. One point, unfortunately, I couldn't find it in Maastricht, which I really like, which is restaurants. To be honest, Maastricht doesn't have as much as restaurants in Den Haag. Den Haag has more restaurants here, like Turkish, Persian, Arabic, and a lot of more restaurants. So if you want to
so more diverse restaurants.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you, all three of you, for sharing all of those different memories. If you as the audience do want to know more about the Netherlands or Maastricht, we actually did a webinar about that on our website. You can get the YouTube video of that webinar where we actually look at the MSM experience more specifically and what it is like. So don't hesitate to go check that out on our website. As I mentioned today, we will be focusing on the full-time MBA. That's also what all three wonderful, beautiful ladies have done here today, our guests. But so if you are interested in doing the online MBA, which we also have, it is important to just reach out to our recruitment team, ask Inka about that, because she can give you all the information about that. There is a lot of overlap from a curriculum perspective, but from a obviously format execution perspective, it is quite a different approach. So if you want to know more about about that, don't hesitate. But today's focus is really about that full-time MBA because of that comfort zone that you have to leave to start doing it. And I've already heard a bit of it. Deb mentioning, the homesickness, wanting to go back home because it was so difficult. Serpil mentioning, from the job perspective and the daughter and the struggle and the stress and the decision to come to the Netherlands. It's a huge decision. So we're going to go talk about that more specifically now. So just a little bit of an introduction about why it is important. Because the theories go that in your comfort zone, life is stable, right? But often that is where you continue doing things the way you've always done them. And so the whole idea about a comfort zone and getting out of it is to challenge yourself. And often through these challenges, you end up growing. So that whole idea of stepping out of your comfort zone is going from that feeling safe, passing through that moment where you find 1,000 excuses to not do it, and then actually going into that zone where you go and challenge yourself, you grow, you acquire new skills, you meet new people, you make new friends, you find a new purpose, you get a new job in a new country. So that's the theory behind why it is so important to constantly be challenging yourself to be able to grow. If you stay within your comfort zone and you don't face those fears, you're not going to be able to get these new skills or new opportunities. So that's actually what I wanted to talk about today. Firstly, from if we look at it from a career growth perspective and from a personal well-being perspective. And let's start with Zainab this time. If you look back at it now and you look back at your decision to come here and to study an MBA, from a career perspective and from a personal well-being perspective, how has that helped you?
Okay, so first of all, I was a teacher, an English teacher in Kuwait, and I was like 8 or 9 years of experience. So I was really in my comfort zone that I have my salary. Also, I had my business at the beginning of my business at the time of COVID-19. So I was really relaxed that I have my income. I have Kuwait as a good country to live in, to be honest. And so I was thinking about why shouldn't I complete my studies? But I was struggling with that. Oh my God, I'm leaving Ministry of Education in Kuwait with a good salary, with a good business in Kuwait. The business in Kuwait is really good because I don't know if you know that it's tax-free. We don't have any taxes in Kuwait. It's a good point there. So I struggled in the beginning, and even if I want to ask anyone, they will say, no, Zainab, don't do that. You have a good situation of living. So I was thinking about it myself and picking up some people that I know they support education more than having money, and they supported me. So I decided to do it. I had the IELTS, I have my certificate and everything. So when I get in the real point of the resignation of Minister of Education, I was thinking, oh my God, I'm really after 8 years of education getting out and moving out. How can I do it? It was really so difficult for me. Some people, they told me, you are doing something wrong, don't do that. They were an obstacle that they're saying you will regret it, don't do that. And I said, no, I want that, I will do it. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. So they want their comfort zone, but I don't do that. I don't want that. I want to experience new things. I'm as a person, I like adventures. So that was an adventure I'm going to take. Even if I failed, I won't regret it because I have something new I have done.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's why I get out of my comfort zone. In the beginning, I really was afraid about it, but later on, I'm totally so happy about it.
No, great to hear that. And Serpil, what about you?
So same here as Zainab, actually. And you know, when you're going out of your comfort zone, your gender plays an important role. Like if you're a woman, you are urged to think about the bad sides of the taking out of the comfort zone. But if you're a man, you are, you know, supported. So as a woman and as a mother, of course, people also told me, just think about it. You're so comfortable here in Turkey. You live next to your mother. So you don't need money to earn more money, but this is not about earning more money. Like it's, of course, always a nice thing to earn more money, but yeah. So I'm also in that mindset that I want to feel uncomfortable when making a decision, because I know that only uncomfortable decisions will give me some fruit at the end. And I have never met anyone who went out of their comfort zone and regret it. Never. So that's the correct thing to do. And, you know, I got the personal growth after the MBA. I have now enhanced resilience. I was always resilient, but now it's enhanced. And I get to know a lot of people from a lot of cultures. And, you know, in an MBA program, first thing you need to learn is to manage cultural differences from all over the world. So I now have expanded perspective. And, you know, not to mention about the professional development it brought to me. So I would strongly suggest all the attendees here to consider MSM. It has a very nice flexible program. Believe me, it will not harm your comfort zone that much as you would think, but at the end, it will take you to another level.
Yeah. I mean, it is a lot to consider. And Zep, you also mentioned that for you, you arrived here and you actually had taken the step. You'd faced your fears and then you're like, maybe I should go back into my comfort zone, but you didn't, right? So do you want to walk us through that?
Yeah, so as I shared with you before, that I actually struggled a lot when I came to the Netherlands at first, but later until this moment, when I think back of the 1 year at the MSM, I already see that I got what I want, because you know that in Vietnam it is a developing country, especially recently it is developing very fast in Southeast Asia. And at first, when I decided to come to MSM for my MBA, because I thought that with the MBA, especially the master degree from a very developed country and a country which is very famous in education, like the Netherlands, I will have like advantages when I come back to Vietnam, and it was true. And when I came back here, whenever I join interviews with any corporations or any companies, I got the offer, and all the positions are in manager positions. And they one of the corporations I applied for, they offer me as a COO, and I see that, wow, so it was very worthy when I let me say, at first I consider it as as I sacrificed 1 year here out there in a foreign country, and it was very struggling. But now I see that that was my the most right decision up to now. So as I shared with Semina before, that the only thing I regret when I really miss and I really love in the Netherlands is the well-being, the work-life balance there. When I have 1 year there, I see that I was really living the life. Even though when I came back here in Vietnam, I had many chances to grow in my career, but it's a little bit regretful that I cannot have work-life balance as in the Netherlands. Even though that we will see that the MBA program at MSM is not that balanced. It's not that balanced, but you know,
Pressure
sometimes
cooker.
yeah, and sometimes we really need to sacrifice maybe a short period of time in your life to achieve what you want, to get out of the comfort zone, to achieve something special. And then when you get something like that, and you can have period of time for balanced life.
That's amazing. Thank you. So I've basically heard everything, you've mentioned all the reasons, but these are studies have proven that, the reasons for leaving your comfort zone can help you with new perspectives. We heard that from Serpil, from the class diversity. It helps you to learn with change. It helps you to perform better in your job. It's to help you grow, but become more creative because you get these new perspectives, and effectively you'll get the boredom, the depression, all of that also makes a big difference for your future. So stepping out of the comfort zone has proven to be both beneficially from a personal perspective as from a career perspective. So how does MSM's MBA help you? And we have mentioned a few of these topics, but the first thing is you come into a whole new world, right? You leave your country behind. I think that's already the first step of the new comfort zone. It's or this new environment. It's going to a new country, and that is confronting. And that's also why I started this webinar, to reassure you with how amazing Maastricht is. And it was great to hear the feedback from our alumni today on that, because it is a big decision, which city, which country, where to study. Now, the Netherlands is famous for its excellent education system, as we've mentioned already. But yeah, so you go into, you get on your magic carpet or the airplane, and you come to this new city, and then there's this whole new environment to get used to. Now, we've talked about this very briefly, but I'd like to go into this a little bit more deeper now, as MSM's also famous for its hands-on case-based learning approach. So during the classes, there's a lot of group discussions, a lot of simulations, opportunities, guest lectures, company visits. So I actually want to know, if you look back at that now, Serpil, I know for you it was slightly different because of COVID, right? But even then, there was some simulation games that you did as a class. There were, so if you think back to those group discussions, even when you had to do them online, maybe share some of the things that stand out for you from that perspective. Dziepa, maybe you want to start and just share some of the things that stood in your mind on this perspective.
Yeah, sure. I think that the simulation game was very special for me. It was the first time I had chance to learn via simulation game. Actually, it was a game. So at first we thought that, so we just did some random steps and just see how it was going. But you know what, when the game happens and we see that, oh no, we need to use our brain because we need to have strategies, we need to have a very clear orientation, or we need to think very carefully, because every step we did here in the game, it would affect our revenue and profit at the end of the game. And it was a failure for our team, and we ranked maybe probably the second bottom up.
Oh,
And
second last. Okay.
yeah, and then we were a little bit sad at that time, but later then we see that, oh, so we learned a lot from this simulation game, and it was kind of the back transfers to apply the strategies or the philosophy we learned in the class to a real world situation, but it was embedded in a game. So I think that it was a very good way to learn through a simulation game, and I really hope that next year we have more simulation games for the potential students at MSM.
Definitely. What about you, Zainab?
Yeah, as I remember, because I'm so new in business, so this game made me really live in the life of getting in a company, being as a CEO or an employee that have decision in this job, and you can see what is the result of your decisions. So you get in real, like, virtual reality, to be honest, as a worker in this company, and you seek to have profit, and it was a really good game. I really liked it. I don't remember, to be honest, which rate I was. Liam remembers. That's so good. So but I really it was so useful. And there was a lot of more games. One of them that I don't forget at all was the personality one that we made as a career development. I really like that. I know
game. Yeah.
myself now, so I don't know if I can talk about it now or later on.
Of course, no, go for it.
Yeah. So so there was a like a consultancy for personality development, something like that. So we had it in the beginning of the year and in the end of the year, and we saw the result, the difference between the beginning and the end. And when I was in the end of the year, I said, "Oh my God, I don't know myself. I don't know my potential that I have." So when I rethink about it, Zainab, you can do that. Zainab, you are like this. You are a leader. You can do this. So it opened my eyes even about myself. So I really like that one more.
Very important. Great feedback. Thanks. Serpil, anything to add on this? Because, like I said, you had a different experience, right?
Yeah, well, you know, all around the world now, the teams are getting more virtual. So MSM helped us. You know, it was like blessing from the sky because of the COVID. We needed to learn that, and the case studies helped us a lot to stay connected in an agile, you know, pressure environment. So I loved the case studies because I learned a ton, and because you need to research a lot to even give an answer, and from all over the areas of the business. And the games, of course, I remember one game that you need to stay alive in a deserted island.
Oh, yes, that was leadership. Yeah.
Yeah, I was killed like in the first 5 minutes. Yeah, but I never forget that game. And as Zainab touched a very good point, like they teach you to learn yourself in a professional way. So in all our lives, personally, we are trying to understand ourselves, where to move, how we are, how should we react, etc. But we do not have time to do that professionally because we are in a hustle every day. But in the MSM MBA program, you can stop and check, touch base with yourself. So yeah, that was the major points for me.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that. Now, we've briefly talked about the MBA being intense, and I just want to highlight that because that's also part of the stepping out of your comfort zone. It's about learning to manage pressure, to be more resilient, I think was the word we used, because the MBA is it's a 1-year program, but it's basically 2 years of content that's been squished into 1 year. And normally when students finish, and I'm getting that feeling now from you as well, is that students always say, "Oh, after I've done the MBA, I can handle anything," because there's so much going on that you learn to prioritize, you learn to manage time, you learn to be less procrastinative, and also to manage your stress better. But it's all part of that, also personal development as well. So by getting out of your comfort zone and doing this 1-year pressure cooker MBA, it is going to help you afterwards to be able to manage a whole lot of things from that level. And so I just wanted to actually briefly explain how that works. So when you look at the course curriculum or the cycle, basically this MBA, if you take your first class, let's say call it marketing, marketing would be divided into 2 weeks. But in the first week, you're actually in class nearly every day, 9 to 5. And then the second week, you are technically free to work on your assignments, your group assignments, your individual assignments. But in between, though, in that second week, sometimes there are some additional workshops, some career workshops, some personal development workshops, some thesis workshops, but you don't have class on that topic. So you get to focus on that. You submit your assignments at the end of that second week. And then you move on to, let's say, supply chain. And same thing, you've got 1 week of class, full-time in class for supply supply chain. And then the next week you work on that assignment, the group assignment and individual assignments. You submit it at the end of the week and you move through to the next class. We do that on purpose because it helps you to really focus on that one course at a time, because it's so intense during the year. If you start mix and matching the classes, it becomes really complicated to absorb as much information. So this is a really great way to go deeper into each subject, get the most out of it, and then move through to the next assignment or the next course. Now, talking about the curriculum, we at MSM have quite a well-balanced curriculum, and I've highlighted some of the topics that I've actually heard back now as well regarding the managing cultural diversity, how diverse the program is, but also the programs that we find are very important for the future. So topics that we find are going to help future-proof your career, so that in whatever situation, you will know about how to handle digital transformation in your company. You'll know how to use big data. You'll know about the CSR and ethics and the discussions going on there. But I also want to ask our alumni today about that. Serpil, if you look back at your classes, which courses are you using still now? What is knowledge or skills that you learned during these classes that you're still applying in your work today?
Well, I'm in global trade compliance, which is a pillar of global supply chain. So obviously global supply chain management and digital transformation, of course. I'm trying to keep up with the all developments, and this program helped a lot. And the inputs from my classmates made me aware of the things that I have never known before. And of course, change management. Yeah, in any position, you need to be able to manage the projects, manage the chain.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like you're not a project manager if you're not a project manager, but you need to know how to deal with the stakeholders, the people managements, etc. So yeah, these are all helped me. Yeah.
Nice. And Diep, what about you? You're on mute still.
I'm sorry. I think that I could have a lot of courses that I can apply in my my current job. But I think that the most important thing is the global strategy, global corporate strategy and economics. Because I think that, for example, in Vietnam, we will see how the economic growth is at this moment. For example, we see that the economic crisis is happening, and we are not sure if we can overcome it somewhere in the world, the US or the Europe, but it seems that it's a little bit different in Southeast Asia, and Vietnam to get economic growth, the annual economic growth of about 5%. So I think that it is good, and we see that we can attract a lot of FDI in education or in some specific sectors. So based on these news or the knowledge I learned, I see that especially when I worked in a corporate, it means in a corporation. So it means that we need to have very clear, and we need to know quite clearly about the current economic situation, so that we can have very good strategy to invest our money in which area to expand our business activities. So I think economics and global corporate strategy are two courses that I use the most, most useful for me.
Great to hear that. Now, Zainab, a little bit of a different question for you on that perspective. If you look at the curriculum again and you think back, what was a course that you didn't think you would enjoy, that you weren't really looking forward to, but then in the end actually surprised you because you're like, whoa, this is actually interesting?
I can say decision-making tools. When they said it will be something about statistics and Excel, which I didn't know at all about it before, but it was really a good professor that when I get in and he taught us so well. And in the end of the course, I said, oh my God, I want to study more about it. I want to get more in it. So decision-making tools was the most one that I was surprised about, to be honest.
Great. That's good to hear. It's often one of the feedback I hear the most is people expect it to be very boring, big data, you know, statistics, and then ending up being a really wow course. Now we also have expertise tracks at MSM, so you get to specialize your MBA, but to be more attractive to the job market. These specializations take 2 weeks, and you choose one specialization, so one expertise track, either in entrepreneurship or in digital economy or in international business. And then once you focus on that, you actually get 4 courses on that theme. Now those 4 courses are actually going to be combined into 2 big main courses with these sub courses, but that is basically the way this is set up so that you can still make your MBA relevant to the career you want to go into after your studies. And then you also have your thesis, where you get to choose between an academic research paper, a consulting project, or a business plan. So depending also in the direction you want to go, you would then, you know, or for your career, you know, you get to choose that, and then you get to present that for the future for you to do that for your choice. And that actually is quite a big part of your MBA, as well as a lot of stress for everyone. But it does make a difference as well, for you learn to do a lot of research, a lot of market, get a feel for the market, and on an area that you find interesting. Now, I've also alluded to the fact that there are some assignments. And so per course, you have to complete, we don't have exams anymore. I don't know if any of you had any exams, or was it all assignments? All assignments, yeah. So per course, you have to do an assignment, always at least one individual assignment, and then most often per course there's also some group assignments. And the group assignments are challenging when it comes to managing the cultural differences. That's also where you learn a lot. And then also interesting to know is these assignments, you can often make it more relevant to you because you get to look at it from your angle. So a lot of times you can analyze companies that you want to know more about, so that you can constantly also specialize further in your own field of interest by doing that. Now I see Zainab, you're nodding your head. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about how you did that during your MBA to you know, specialize a bit further. You're on mute though. Yeah. There you go.
So first of all, to be honest, I hated Saturdays. Even Saturdays is the best. But during the MBA, we hated it because it was the submission time. But we were working during the whole week. But having this non-exam assignments, for me, it was better choice, to be honest, because in this way you learn more, you practice it, you do it. Especially with the group one, when you have different cultures from different backgrounds, different business areas, everyone has a point that you learn from them, and you think, oh my God, yeah, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. So you're not only learning from reading, you're learning from your friends in the groups. That was so good. Also, if you have exam, to be honest, when I had a bachelor or high school or whatever, you study it, you go to the exam, and you get out everything in your mind. That's it. I want to relax. I want to forget everything about science, anything. But in this assignment, which you have to write like 10 pages or something like 5,000 words, you have to search a lot. You have to read a lot. You have to learn by yourself. So in MSM, my experience was they give you the first step and you have to walk alone. So they give you how to do that, then you can do it by yourself. So now when I think about it, oh my God, in 1 year, my whole life changed, that now I can search, I can read, I know how to get the information, which they don't do at the school. In the school, they give you a book and you read it, you memorize it, you test it. But here, no, they give you the title, you have to go to search about it, to find out more about it. And to be honest, for my situation, it's stuck in my mind. Every time I see something about business, oh, we took this one in this course, we took this one in this course. So it's awesome, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And Serpil, anything to add from your side?
Yeah, especially the group assignments. Well, at any work environment, you have to, collaborate with other departments. So it's like the beginning of that, story. And in a group assignment, you have to collaborate. Sometimes you don't want to collaborate with some people, but you have to, and you learn people skills. And that's very crucial, I can tell you guys. Yeah.
Great. And you actually mentioned earlier on about the pressure cooker, right? This was part of it, all those assignments as deadlines.
Exactly.
Yes, I still remember the first individual assignment of oh my God, managing diversity, something, the course. And that was, yeah, and it was really struggling. Yeah, I still remember that we have a chat group in for MBA class, and we texted to each other every single day during that week. And we ask each other, could you give me some hundreds of words? I'm trying to produce as many words as possible, and it was 4,000 word assignment. But later, after the first few courses, and I myself, maybe many other classmates had the same experience, but I know how to I know how to structure my assignments. I know how to answer the questions. I know how to search for academic papers, how to quote, and how to do everything like in academic way. And it seems that and the results was I got a quite high score for individual assignments, especially the last courses when I got used to everything already. And it was the most stressful thing, maybe the thesis. I still remember only 5 weeks left until the deadline, and I got any single word for my thesis. And I talked to Stephanie, my supervisor, and I see that, oh, maybe I have to extend because I don't think I can finish this big thing in 5 weeks. But later, finally, I could get it done, even though that I got some sleepless nights. But I think that it was very worthy, and I got out of my comfort zone, and I challenged my resilience as well.
Perfect. It definitely sounds like these assignments have been created to get you out of your comfort zone. That's for sure.
Yes.
Now, we've talked about the diversity, so I'm not going to talk much about that, but that is something that's absolutely key. We've talked about it providing a new perspective, it provides you a new network, and it provides you with this, there's even potential to work together on new ideas. So it's also good to know that your cohort, your class will come from all different backgrounds, all different career experiences, different countries, and you're just going to constantly be learning in class and out of class about how life is in other places. We also do some extras for the MBA students. We provide an innovation week. We have some workshops on agile planning and service design. And there's a mentorship program where we actually pair you up with a local mentor or business partner here in the region to help you get a better feel for what it's like, in the Netherlands. Additionally, and Zainab mentioned it just now, we also have a career and personal development track for the MBA. And during this career and personal development track, it is extracurricular. We try and help you become as relevant and interesting to the job market as possible. So we do workshops on skills that you will need in the job market after graduating. So upskilling, reskilling yourself on these things. But, and also we do those as, personal development sessions where you get to know yourself better. What are your strengths as a leader, as a manager? How can you use this in the situation? We do a lot of events, challenges, networking. So there's a lot of things going on throughout the year. Even when you're not in class, there's still a lot of things going on, because we understand when you join an MBA, you don't want to just focus on academic, you want that holistic experience. So in that holistic experience, there's a lot of extracurricular things that MSM also offers for you as a class, as a cohort, to also get to know one another. And then additionally, obviously, at the university, there are all these additional activities that you can join. The university has a well-being week, and the students can join this. There are additional challenges that they can join, student challenges. There are all the sports clubs that the university has, and all of that is, part that the student has access to, and when they are part of MSM. I mentioned the student challenges because we actually do invest quite a lot in this as well, because we want you to get that hands-on experience with real companies, with real problems. And we often focus on the sustainable development goals as challenges for our students. So students work on a pitch, an idea, a sprint proposal for a company on solving their sustainability issue. And this is always a highlight. We actually just finished ours last week, was the finals. So we've just posted the video of that on our website. So if you want to check it out and get a feel for what it's like, I definitely recommend it. Based on time, I'm not going to ask about that right now because I know everyone had great experience with that. So, but it is definitely worthwhile checking that out. So just from a practical perspective, and then we'll go through to the question and answer. The MBA tuition fee for 2024, so starting in September, the intake is 33,000 euros. There are some scholarships, because we know that money isn't always easy. And I know that it's part of the decision to step out of your comfort zone is this financial burden. So we try and help you with that. There's an early bird discount. And so it's important to know that early bird discount, you have to have paid 25% of the net tuition fee before the 1st of May. So if you are still interested, that means you should start your application very soon, get it sorted out so that you can still make that early bird payment before the 1st of May. We also have a Dean's Development Fund for non-European countries. That's also interesting to see where you're all from today, the audience, because from what I saw, all of the countries mentioned will benefit from the Dean's Development Fund. It's an automatic discount to help students from countries to come and study in the Netherlands, because we know it is an expensive degree to follow. And then there are some merit-based scholarships. So depending on your situation, if you have been involved in sustainability or in one of the SDGs, one of the 17 goals from the United Nations, it's definitely worthwhile trying for that one. If you've done very well academically or in general, just extracurricularly, that you've got a very impressive CV or career development, it's worthwhile applying for academic excellence. The Women Ambassadorship is for women that have really made a difference in the gender bias, like Sarah Peel mentioned earlier on as well. Coming to study as a woman in a foreign country is an even bigger step. So that's also our way to help with that. And then it is important that for 2024, the maximum discount is 35% for the full-time MBA, except for the academic excellence and the Women Ambassadorship, where there is a slightly higher discount. Unfortunately, Diep, for you, the Orange Tulip doesn't exist anymore. The Dutch government, that's one of the scholarships that is not taking place next year. But these are the ones that we have available. So if you want to know more about these scholarships, we know it is important, just please contact Inka or Alina. They are there to help you with that. They can give you more information about the scholarships and also how to apply for them. We also did a webinar earlier on this week about that, the do's and don'ts for your application and your scholarships. It will be available very soon on our YouTube channel as well. So I would recommend checking that out, because I'm going through this part very quickly, but they spent a whole webinar just on that. So if you do want to also know more about the application process, go check it out. They've got some tips on how to make your application stand out. But in general, to be able to apply, you need to go onto our application portal. There's a whole lot of files you need to upload. mode. I would recommend from a motivation perspective, because there's a section to give your motivation for why you want to come to the Netherlands, MSM, do an MBA, those type of things. Please do not use ChatGPT or AI. This is something where we do want to see you and your real authentic answers. We can very easily scan, or we do scan for these ChatGPT answers. So be careful for that. It's the only recommendation I can give there. And then once you apply by paying a 95 euro application fee, you get invited for an interview. If the interview goes well, then we let you know if you've been admitted. And then the final step to be able to start the program is to complete the 4 leveling courses plus academic writing that needs to be done before the start of the semester, or to complete your GMAT or GRE. But once again, if you have questions about that, I would recommend checking out our webinar, because we did a lot of information on that specifically. Right. If you do want more information, these are the contact details of our recruiters and our admissions office. And if you do want to chat to some of our students, they are available via the chat. So don't hesitate to reach out to them to find out their experiences. And as I've mentioned, we've got a lot of YouTube videos online that's available to be checked out, and our website links everything to that. So don't hesitate. And then we do travel around a bit to go visit certain places. So if we are in the area, don't hesitate to reach out to come visit us, or if you want a session online or a meeting, don't hesitate to reach out either, because we can help you with that. Inka, it is time. We've got a few minutes left. Do you want, were there any important questions that you couldn't answer that are always worthwhile?
Yes. Thank you, Hermina. Yeah, got a couple of questions, also private ones. So, Zainab, maybe from your memory back in Maastricht, how would you describe the life on campus?
Okay, so I was living in Randwick, which is near to the oldest building. It's a little bit far away from the new one. But because like most of us, we were living either in there or in Silberland, and you feel like when you know your colleagues and you make some friendship with them, you feel you're at home. Like sometimes when I'm hungry or I want to eat something, I call my friend Reem, come to eat together. So you can make the campus, you can make some friendship that later on they become like a family for you. So maybe some of the people here, they know about Ramadan, with which we fast. And we were a couple of Muslims there, and we were doing futur together. And even all of our friends that they are not fasting, they come to join us in the campus to eat together. And it was really lovely that you don't feel, we do feel homesick, but that not that much, that's a lot. So you feel sometimes you are at home with your friends.
Thank you very much, Zainab. One question for Diep. How long did it take you to find a job after graduation?
It is a very special case for me, because I still, as you know, that after you graduate from MBA program or graduate from master program in the Netherlands, you will have 1 year for orientation year. And I decided to save my 1 year orientation year visa so that I can come back to the Netherlands soon. So I decided to come back to my home country in Vietnam. And it was very fast when I got the first job. Actually, at first I planned to stay in the Netherlands right after my graduation. But when I decided to come back to Vietnam for just 1 month so that I can see my family after such a long time. And I got the first job offer in the biggest conglomerate in Vietnam. So I decided to stay here in Vietnam. So I decided I needed to come back to the Netherlands to arrange everything, and eventually left the Netherlands. But so for me, in my case, I see that it is very easy to get a job in Vietnam. But to some cases of my classmates from MBA class, I see that a lot of them also got a very good jobs right after graduation, or they even got job offers before they before they actually graduated from the program. So I think that the job potential is very good. When you get especially the MBA here, when we have when MSM now is a part of Maastricht University, so we have triple crown accreditation, so it becomes much more easier for MBA, especially full-time MBA students, to get a job in the Netherlands or within Europe.
Thank you very much, Diep. And then we also have one more question for Serpil. From your experience with regards to career services, what was the most useful tool to find a job in the Netherlands?
I loved how you approached the career development, and I realized that I didn't know how to apply for jobs before taking all those, seminars at MSM. And it's a great help, great tools that you provide to the students. Even how to draft your CV makes a whole difference. How to draft a cover letter. I remember one thing, and one of the seminars, someone told, like, you will apply for 100 jobs and only 2 of them will get back to you. So be resilient. Do not give up. And I did that and it worked. So thank you for that piece of advice. And
Thank you
also,
very much.
yeah,
Sorry,
also,
go ahead.
yeah. Well, networking is easier when you're here in a European university, if you want to move to Europe, because, the professors, the friends, and the events that the MSM organizes all help. So yeah, I think the career development wise, it was not a generic program. It was really to the targets.
Thank you very much, Serpil. I believe that's all the questions we got from the audience. Yeah, for now, the rest are already answered in the meantime. So I think everything is
Great.
covered.
Okay, because Nelly just told me in any case that at 4:10, this webinar is over. It's automatic cutoff. So we made it perfectly on time. So I think in any case, the biggest takeaway here in any case for myself was that I've learned a lot about the experiences from the alumni as well. It's always nice to see from the different perspectives. So thank you everyone for sharing everything today with the audience. It was really insightful. And if anyone has any additional questions, they can just reach out to Inka or to myself. We're there. We know it's a huge decision to make, to step out of this comfort zone, to go past those fears. And if we can help you in any way to reassure you, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Okay?